How do you win an avoidance trust and make them feel safe so that they don't need to pull away anymore? Much like a lot of you guys, I fell head over heels for someone with an avoidant attachment style. I'll be honest here. From the first moment we started dating, I knew this was going to be challenging, but I didn't realize just how challenging. Avoidance tests you and push you to your limit. They pull away only to come back. One moment you're happily in love, the next you end up feeling neglected or abandoned. I used to wonder, what do I have to do to make my avoidant boyfriend finally trust me? How can I make him feel safe so that he just opens up instead of needing space? Hi guys, I'm Carolina. Together with my formerly avoidant husband, Gabriel, we run this YouTube channel where we talk about attachment styles and breakups. In this video, I'll share a somewhat obvious secret that made my avoidant partner finally feel safe with me. If you know about attachment styles, chances are you already understand how important and frustrating the lack of trust is in an anxious avoidant relationship. Avoidants struggle with trust. They're protective of their freedom and quick to see threats where there are none. They can also be distant and guarded with their feelings. This was the case with my then avoidant boyfriend, Gabriel. Deep down, he didn't trust me. There were many instances when I'd reassure him, tell him we're on the same page, that I'm okay with the pace at which we're going, and that we want the same things, that I valued independence too, and I didn't mind giving him space. But no matter what I said, he wouldn't believe me. He'd twist the story and make me feel insecure until I acted in ways that confirmed his fears. He'd paint me out as controlling when I wasn't, then push that narrative until I became who he was making me out to be. If you're dating an avoidant, you know how frustrating it is when you can see the potential for things to be good, yet your partner keeps throwing up roadblock after roadblock, diminishing your connection, painting you out as needy, and making you anxious. So, how do you stop it? How do you make an avoidant finally feel safe and trust you? The funny thing is, I did it without realizing it. Shortly after our third breakup, our relationship changed. Instead of escalating, our problems started dying down. I felt more and more secure. I stopped worrying about being abandoned and started feeling relaxed about our future again. Here's how it happened. When I was stuck in the anxious mode, I believed Gabriel and I were meant to be together. And I had a hard time facing the possibility of us splitting up. But when he broke up with me for the third time, it wasn't this unexpected shock anymore. I saw it coming. It still broke my heart, but it also broke my blind trust. Suddenly, I needed Gabriel to prove himself. I stopped giving unconditional love and started setting boundaries. The thing about trust is that it's a two-way street. If you don't trust your avoidant partner, they won't trust you either. The same goes for safety. If you don't feel safe with them, they can't feel safe with you. Connection, love, all these feelings can only be experienced in their full extent when they are being shared. So, how did I turn things around? The obvious secret was this. Instead of trying to win his trust, I focused on building mutual trust between us. I made it a priority to feel safe with him. Once I felt relaxed, open, and free to be myself, he followed. Carrying the whole relationship on your shoulders while neglecting yourself gets you nowhere. Love can be blinding, and it blinded me. I became invested in whom I needed Gabriel to be instead of who he really was. You can't build trust with an idea of someone. You have to be willing to see and accept them the way they really are. Most avoidants can be selfish and inconsiderate. Endlessly forgiving them and letting them walk all over you doesn't motivate them to trust you or to change. But standing up for yourself and putting your needs first makes you more trustworthy. You're no longer pretending everything is fine when it's not. You're being honest, and honesty invites honesty. So, what does this mean in practice? The first big shift I made was stopping the habit of hiding when I was upset. Anxious partners tend to get upset a lot, but they mostly do it in a bit of a helpless way. They can act like a scared toddler, clinging and chasing, rather than daring to be openly angry or disappointed with their avoidant partner. After our third breakup, I stopped doing that. I reached my limit. You see, that year, Gabriel surprised me for my birthday. He flew from Austria to northern Greece, where I was doing an internship digitizing historical sites. I was staying in a small town, far away from everything. He had to first fly, then take a bus, and then even walk the last stretch just to show up at my door. It was insanely romantic. And then, a few weeks later, he broke up with me again. After he did this, I wasn't just heartbroken. I was angry and confused. I didn't know what to believe about him anymore. Normally, I would have swallowed these feelings, but not this time. I let him know exactly how upset I was, even if it hurt him. I laid it all out in an email to which he responded right away, wanting to talk. I said no. I didn't trust him, and I needed him to show me he was serious. And he did. He waited, he followed up, and he kept on trying to make peace until I was ready. Eventually, I agreed to meet him. I was back home from the internship at that point. We made up and got back together right away. I made him win my trust, and by doing it, I also won his trust and his respect. It made us both feel safer with one another. The second big shift was making plans without him. I stopped waiting around or asking his opinion first. I booked a trip to Norway to see the Northern Lights with a friend without checking it. He was a little jealous, but also impressed. It forced him to plan with me instead of expecting me to orbit around him. I became this way in general, not just when it came to traveling. I'd make plans for myself without letting him know. He wanted us to be independent. I could roll with that. When he would then check in last minute or ask me what I was up to, he kept on being surprised. It forced him to need to plan ahead with me, which he then began doing again, which in turn won my trust. I gradually let my guard down. You can't expect to make someone feel safe when you yourself feel very unsafe around them. Building trust needs to be mutual. After all, it's a feeling between the two of you. It's a connection, an understanding both of you need to share. If you're stuck in a one-sided relationship, you'll never be able to trust your partner, and they will never be able to fully trust you either. The reason things worked out between me and Gabriel was not just up to me. He was invested enough to put in the effort. He cared enough to be willing to change. This isn't always the case. Now, not every avoidant is capable of meeting you halfway. Some are too self-absorbed, too scared, or simply not ready for real intimacy. Not all relationships are meant to work out. But if there's potential, you have to risk finding out. You have to let them prove themselves. Trust is the only certainty you have in love. And trust is something you build over time. You have to let your avoidant win your trust too. You also need to give them a chance to improve things by communicating it when you're upset about something. So many of my anxious coaching clients go from chasing an avoidant to giving them silent treatment. You're not dealing with some scheming, manipulative mastermind. Avoidants don't know any better. They don't get that they're hurting you or that they're gradually pushing you away. They need your feedback. They need you to let them win your trust. And that's how they learn to trust you too. Sacrificing your needs and putting on a happy face will not fool your true love. If it's meant to be, your partner will not be able to let go either. Love is a strong bond. If you truly believe you met the one, you can take risks with them. Only once you feel safe with them, they'll also feel safe with you. This is the somewhat obvious secret that transformed my relationship. True love is mutual. So, what can you do if you're too scared to speak up? or to rock the boat if you know that it will only make your avoidant partner pull away even more. You take it easy and start slowly. Let them win your trust in a small way. Transforming an anxious avoidant relationship is an emotional journey. It requires both of you to grow individually and together. You both need to become more secure in order to be able to feel safe in your relationship. If you want to find out how this process looks like in more detail, it's something we teach in our Attach and Avoidant program. We took a deep dive into our own journey as well as that of our countless coaching clients, and we developed a method to guide you through an anxious avoidant relationship transformation step by step. You start off by just working on yourself and building yourself up. Then you gently test your partner and push them to be better. We also give you plenty of reassurance and scripts on what to say and what to do to get results. If you want to know more, I'll link Attach and Avoidant in the description of this video. I hope you found this helpful. Let me know if you have any questions, and if you're on the lookout for more advice on attachment styles, subscribe to our channel. One last thing. You have more power over your partner than they're willing to admit. Everybody gets attached. Avoidants do too. On this positive note, thank you for watching.